I believe that anyone who experienced financial hard times deserves a second chance. This means life is not defined by the challenges we encountered, but rather in the resilience we exhibit while confronting them. When second chances are given, it serves as a reminder that mistakes do not define us, but rather teach us a valuable lesson and provide the power to rise above our circumstances. But there's society judging and stereotyping us for not knowing how to manage our money. They think we should have made better financial choices or taken less risk. Wonder if we lived in a society where support is given without judgment when facing financial hardships, where people uplift one another, offering resources and assistance to help those regain financial stability. I'm Amy Ellis, the real estate investment lady. Let us join together in creating a compassionate and supportive society where individuals like us that may have faced or is facing financial struggles are given an opportunity to seize a fresh start. Welcome to another episode of Foreclosure Chronicles podcast, where we help homeowners in foreclosure with options so that they can make the best decision for their situation or exit the property with dignity. I'm your host, Amy Ellis. In the last episode, I discussed the two types of foreclosure: the judicial and non-judicial. And I focus more on non-judicial because that's what is used in the state of North Carolina. Now, on this episode, I'm going to break it down a little bit further, which if you listen to the last episode, I kind of gave a timeline of the foreclosure process. So in this episode, I'm going to break it down to the phases of the foreclosure process. There are 4 steps, 4 stages that a panicked homeowner goes through while in foreclosure. These stages aren't set in stone. You can't Google them to see, oh, is this for real? Truth be told, I made the stages up. However, once you hear what these stages are and the definition that's behind each stages, you'll see why I created the Where You Are timeline. Because there are a lot of panicked homeowners that just don't know. They think that everything is going to get cured or mysteriously disappear. That is not so. So, what are those 4 stages? You have the handling it stage. You have the stalling stage. You have the frantic stage. And the last stage is too late stage. So just by me mentioning those stages and phases, do you know where you are? Are you handling it? Are you just stalling? Has it got to the point where, you're frantic? And hopefully, if you're listening, you are not in the too late stage. So let's break these down. Let's break each one of these stages down. All right. Handling it. This phase occurs around 90 days to 6 months. You're about 90 days to 6 months delinquent. Okay. You receive multiple letters from the lender. You might even be working with a lender via a loan modification. Some other things that you might be doing during this phase is, okay, you got these notices, you know you can't do anything about it, so you might list the home as is with an agent. Or you can be borrowing money from reliable sources like your family or friends during this stage. Nevertheless, when you get those notices, guess what? You're actually doing something and you handling it. And there are homeowners that, hey, they're on it. They're not wasting any time. They know they're out of options and they don't want to wait any longer. They just want to go ahead and handle it. That's why this is the handling phase. Again, you're about 90 days to 6 months delinquent, and you're actually handling your foreclosure via a loan modification, or you getting with the agent to list it as is, or you could be borrowing money from friends or family to help you with your situation. The second phase, stalling phase. You're about 6 months or more delinquent on your mortgage. By this point, you have received a right to cure letter from an attorney. Remember, I mentioned that in the last episode. You have approximately about 60 days to catch up your payments. But in this phase, you do nothing. You don't do anything. A lot of people like to call this phase the ostrich phase. The panic homeowner has their head in the sand because they don't want to deal with it. And during this phase, a panic homeowner can be saying to themselves, I have it taken care of. So during this stage, the panic homeowners is receiving, I'm sure, lots of solicitations, some mail, phone calls. Hey, we can buy your house. Hey, we can help you do a loan mod. Hey, we could sell quick. Whatever the case may be, whatever the advertisements are, what you're telling yourself and you're telling them is, I have it taken care of. But do you really? This is the stalling phase. Does this sound familiar? Again, you're over 6 months delinquent on your mortgage. You have received the right to cure letter from the attorney. So you got about 60 days to get these payments caught up if you want to stay in your home. Okay? The third phase, the frantic phase. By this point, you're about 75 days from a sale date. You have been served papers from the attorney's office that you have ignored in the stalling phase. So there's about approximately 45 days to your hearing date. Because, when you get that letter, it's going to have a hearing date for you to go to court to let the judge know what's going on. So in this phase, you're like, okay, oh crap, what do I do? You try to get it listed. You look frantically for those letters, postcards that you received from investors. And you may file a Chapter 13 or file for bankruptcy. This is the frantic stage because you stalled earlier. You're like, I got it taken care of. And now it's coming down to the wire. Reality's hitting in this phase. So again, you're about 75 days away from the sales date. What are you going to do? And the final phase, too late. Your property has been sold back to the bank, and it's known as a REO or real estate owned property. And by this time, you have no choice but to leave your home. The property is no longer yours. This is where someone will come to the door and possibly give you cash for keys for you to exit out of the property. It could be at that moment, or within a couple of hours, a week, or whatever. But once it's sold back to the bank, it's too late to try to save it. And you have to exit the property with dignity. So once again, we have what I call the where you are timeline. Are you handling it? Or are you stalling? Are you now frantic because the clock is ticking? And hopefully you're not at where it's too late stage, because the property has now been sold back to the bank. Whatever the case may be, again, the panicked homeowner has options. Now, once it gets to the last phase, there's no options left. If you think you're in the stalling phase or frantic phase, there's still time. We like to see people in the handling it phase, but I get it. Life gets to us and we don't want to deal with it, too much pressure. But again, don't let it get to the final stage of where it's too late before you reach out to someone to help you save your home. All right. Hopefully this was helpful and put a little bit more of a perspective of the timeline of where you are in your foreclosure process. Make sure, oh, wait a second. I have something. Oh, wait. If you like what you heard and you want a copy of the where you are timeline, guess what? I can get that for you. What you want to do is go to Foreclosure Chronicles podcast.com. Again, that's Foreclosure Chronicles podcast.com. Sign up. At the drop down, you want the bonus. Click bonus. And when I get that email, I will send you this timeline via email. It's interactive. It says handling it, stalling, frantic, and too late. So that way you can check to see where you are. So again, I hope this was helpful. Don't forget to go to foreclosurechroniclespodcast.com. Sign up for this bonus. And you might want to also sign up because you will be the first to get notified when I drop a podcast show. And the guests that I have on the show like to leave little nuggets and gifts and bonuses. And you can only get those bonuses if you sign up at foreclosurechroniclespodcast.com. Thank you so much. Until next time. Wait a second. Before you hit exit, go to foreclosurechroniclespodcast.com. That's foreclosurechroniclespodcast.com. And sign up to receive notifications of when the next episodes are coming out. And other goodies that you can only get when you subscribe and sign up at foreclosurechroniclespodcast.com. Don't forget to download, subscribe, and share the podcast, Foreclosure Chronicles.